Okay, so we're ready for another deep dive, and today we're going to be looking at Diztrikt Apolo,
Yeah.
specifically his song "No Apologies," and the source material that we have for this is the YouTube transcript.
Right.
So, as
Yeah.
always, just a caveat to the listener that it's a transcript of a video, so there might be some informality in the language.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that kind of lends itself to the content we're looking at.
Right.
We're dealing with I think just a really raw version of this artist.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, right off the bat, I'm struck by like the aggression in his lyrics.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like he's coming in, swinging, and just like that very confrontational tone. And I think that's like one of the things that really kind of jumps out at you immediately when you listen to the song or even read the lyrics.
Yeah, it's not subtle.
No, it's not subtle at all. He's not mincing words.
Right.
Um, you know, even just like from the first few lines, like tough-minded, blunt, even that phrase "kiss a check," it's all very bold, and it almost feels like a statement of intent.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm curious from your perspective, like, is this just posturing, or is there like something deeper behind this, like, kind of tough exterior?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said statement of intent, because I
Yes.
think especially, I think a lot of hip hop artists that are, kind of coming up and trying to make a name for themselves,
Right.
that toughness, that presentation of like, this is who I am. I'm not gonna, beat around the bush.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you exactly how I'm feeling, and that's just part of like I think how they establish credibility and dominance in this space.
I see.
And that goes hand in hand with the idea of respect,
Right.
which is another thing that pops up a lot in these lyrics.
Absolutely. Respect was something that I noticed like throughout the whole song. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's not even just about being tough, it's about like earning that respect.
Right.
And like, he says, fame still, I get respect.
Mhm.
Proclaiming your name in the top. It's almost like I've put in the work now, recognize, my skills.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that competitive spirit is very much, rooted in hip hop culture.
For sure. It's always been a genre and a culture about, you know, battling and proving yourself. And I think that's what's so interesting about Apollo in this song
Right.
is he really embodies that fighter's mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he does it in a way that's, as we've been saying, really aggressive and really in your face. And I think that comes across even stronger through the imagery and the metaphors he
Let's use
uses.
some metaphors.
Like, what do you think when you hear a line like "strap pipe on, get smack lights off"? What do you pull from that?
I mean, honestly, my initial reaction is like, whoa, this is kind of intense,
Right.
But then when you look closer at those metaphors, like, and there's so many of them, like, grill him this black L circling around you, lining you up, I struck up a Vanner, hit in the center. Like, these metaphors are very vivid
Yeah.
and almost violent, but they reveal, I think, like a very strategic mind, like a calculated approach to that competition.
Exactly.
It's not just brute force.
Yeah,
It's about outsmarting your opponents.
for sure. And I think we see that same strategic thinking in how he, criticizes the music industry.
Yes.
Like lines like "fuck pay to play" or "you inflate those numbers to the ceiling." It's a very direct attack on what he sees as, inauthentic,
Okay.
like the manufactured hype, this obsession with, how many streams you have. And he's calling out the fakeness, basically.
Yeah, it's almost like, he's demanding that respect be given based on genuine talent, not just, industry manipulation.
And absolutely.
And I think that kind of speaks to a larger conversation that's happening right now about authenticity in music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is it really about? Is it about the art or is it about the numbers? And I think,
Right.
Paulo is very clearly on the side of the art.
Yeah.
But then there's this one line that kind of throws me off a little bit.
Yeah.
Shit too easy, man. I still don't know why y'all fuck with me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you make of that?
That's the question, isn't it? I mean, it could be a few things. It could be just his own self-doubt, like maybe he feels underestimated even though he is achieving success.
Interesting.
Maybe it's a commentary on like the fickleness of fame,
Yeah.
Like he's almost surprised that people are drawn to his like, raw, uncompromising style.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting line. I think it really makes you think about like that relationship between an artist and their audience.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, we're talking about this artist who is very aggressive and competitive and, deeply critical of the industry,
Right.
but then also maybe a little unsure of his own place in it all. It's a very fascinating mix of confidence and vulnerability.
Absolutely. And it's not like a clean-cut image,
Yeah.
which makes him even more interesting as an artist.
Right.
So, as you're listening to Diztrikt Apolo and checking out his music, I think a good thing to think about would be, how does his approach compare to other artists that you listen to?
Yeah.
Does this raw honesty resonate with you? Does his criticism of the industry make you think about hip-hop in a different way?
Right.
I think these are all really interesting questions to consider as you're diving deeper into this world.
It's definitely a lot to think about.
Yeah, a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we did a pretty good job, though.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right.
Until next time.
See ya. Bye.